I'm Chris from Seaholme Kobudo. Today I'd like to talk about nunchaku. I've been making Kobudo weapons for several years, and one of the questions I'm most often asked is whether or not the equipment needs to be customised to your lengths and your measurements. Now with nunchaku, I would say the answer to that is almost always no, and I'm going to explain why, looking at a couple of examples of technique. First off, these are my nunchaku, my personal nunchaku that I train with. They were one of the first pieces of equipment I ever made, and yeah, I've been training with them for years now. The 35 centimeters in length, so just under 14 inches, oak, nothing special about them at all. It's a size that most nunchaku you see, they will be around this size, tapered bottom to top. So, if I demonstrate a jodonoki, that's a block to a strike that will be coming straight down towards the top of my head. I want to receive that strike up here in the middle of my nunchaku. You can see there's an obvious vulnerability right here. If I receive that strike on my hand, it's going to break some fingers, cause some damage, it's going to force me to not be able to use my weapon. And so, you want to be receiving the strike on the bottom half. That's simple. Except, you don't want to be receiving it too close to this end either. The reason for that is, the weakest point of the nunchaku is right here, on this end. On a tapered nunchaku, it's the thinnest part, so there's the least amount of wood there. And it's also had 3 holes drilled into it, one at the end and 2 in the sides. So, and additionally, you can see as I'm holding my nunchaku there, at 35 centimeters it doesn't cover all my arm. The tip of my elbow is exposed. I definitely don't want to receive a strike on there. So again, it's going to cause an injury, prevent me from defending myself. So you want to receive it right here. And how do you guarantee that when a strike is coming in, maybe from an unpredictable opponent? Well, one thing you need to understand about the nunchaku is it should not be used as a shield to be held above your head to receive any and all impacts. You have to take advantage of one of the great strengths of nunchaku, which is its lightweight. This makes it an incredibly fast and efficient tool for interrupting and receiving strikes. So as a strike comes in, you don't just stand there and wait for it like an umbrella. You move in, collect, and you choose the point wherever on your nunchaku. You choose where that weapon is going to be collected. So you choose right here. And that's as simple as it gets. You could say, why not just make the nunchaku longer? Why not just extend it, make it longer, give you a bigger space there to collect that strike? Well, there's a very good reason, and to explain why, we need to look at a different technique. Now, when you consider this total benefit, the total size of a nunchaku, one of its greatest benefits is the immense length and range you get from it. You take a 35 centimeter length, 10 centimeter rope and another 35 centimeter length. Add that to the length of your arm. My arm, kind of fist to shoulder, it's about 55-60 centimeters. Put that all together in a great big swing, and you've got nearly 1.5 meters of range just from your shoulder. That's an immense advantage over most Kobudo weapons. It does come with a cost though. To take advantage of that range, you want to be performing nice wide swings to really generate speed and range. If your nunchaku are too long though, that swing is going to start colliding with the ground, which reduces the range of motion you can take it through. That's all well and good in the dojo. You're on a nice smooth flat wooden floor, you know exactly where the floor is going to be. You know, if you train barefoot, you know you've got no tolerance for shoe size. It's all very precise. But you've got to remember, Kobudo didn't start, it didn't evolve, it wasn't designed to be used in a dojo. That's a modern training environment. Whichever of the nunchaku origins you believe to be true, whether you think it's a horse bit, a modified horse bit at least, a tool for threshing grains and rice, or some other use, all those people using it in those ways, they were outdoors and they did their training outdoors. So they were surrounded by fields of whatever crop they were growing, or wild grasses and wild plants, trees, tree roots, stones, uneven ground, maybe on a road with a horse cart track going through it, whatever it was. It certainly wasn't a nice clean dojo floor. So if you imagine the difficulty of using a nunchaku that is maybe a touch too long on a smooth wooden floor, you multiply that once you go outside. So really, if you then think a long nunchaku becomes a disadvantage because it means those swings are more likely to get caught up in your surroundings. So your benefit for adding a tiny little amount of extra block on there becomes a huge deficit when you consider the impact of the surroundings. Maybe if you are a very tall guy, or a very tall person, you can accommodate that because obviously your arms are going to be higher off the ground, so you have a little bit more control. But it does make it a much more difficult weapon to use. It makes it a much more advanced weapon changing the size of a nunchaku. So I would recommend, in almost all circumstances, 35cm nunchaku. Stick with this size. It is the simplest solution, and you should learn to train around it. You should consider this to be something that you then learn to train around this precision area here, and you can control the swings, so you learn to work with your nunchaku best, and that's the best thing I could say. So you don't necessarily need to worry about customising this piece of equipment. I'm Chris from Seaholme Kobudo. Thank you very much for listening, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know and I'd be happy to hear your thoughts.